As we grow older, many changes in the body happen quietly, almost without notice. One of the most overlooked changes is the gradual weakening of the legs. It doesn't happen all at once, and that's exactly why so many people miss the early signs. At first, everything feels normal. You can still walk, still move around, still go about your daily routine, but slowly, something begins to shift. Your legs may feel a little heavier at the end of the day. Standing up might take just a moment longer than it used to. You may not think much of it, but these small changes are often the beginning of a larger pattern. For many adults over the age of 60, the legs are the first part of the body to lose strength. This can affect balance, stability, and overall confidence in movement. What makes it more concerning is that the process is gradual and easy to ignore. People often assume it is just a normal part of aging, something that cannot be changed. However, this belief can lead to a cycle where less movement causes even more weakness over time. If you've ever felt unsure when taking your first step after sitting for a while, or noticed that your legs don't respond as quickly as they once did, you are not alone. These experiences are more common than most people realize. The good news is that recognizing these early signals can make a meaningful difference. Awareness is the first step toward improvement. Before moving forward, it's helpful to take a moment and check in with your body. There is a simple self-assessment you can do right now that takes less than 30 seconds. It doesn't require any equipment or special preparation. It simply helps you understand where your leg strength stands today. This quick test can reveal whether your legs are still strong, beginning to weaken, or already showing clear signs that they need more attention. There are several early signs that your legs may be starting to lose strength, and most of them appear in subtle, everyday ways. Because they develop gradually, they are often ignored or mistaken for normal fatigue. Paying attention to these signals can help you act before the weakness becomes more noticeable. The first sign is a feeling of heaviness in your legs or feet, even after a normal day. This isn't the kind of tiredness that comes from intense activity. Instead, it feels like your legs are carrying extra weight for no clear reason. For example, you might come home after simple errands and feel unusually drained in your lower body. This can indicate that your muscles are no longer supporting movement as efficiently as they once did. The second sign is a lack of stability when you first stand up. You may notice a brief moment where your legs feel unsteady, as if they need time to wake up. This can happen when getting up from a chair or out of bed. While it may only last a few seconds, it reflects a delay in muscle activation. Over time, this delay can affect balance and increase the risk of missteps during daily activities. The third sign involves tightness, swelling, or stiffness in your lower legs, especially toward the evening. After a day of sitting or light movement, your ankles or calves might feel slightly swollen or uncomfortable. For instance, your shoes may feel tighter than usual by the end of the day. This can happen when the muscles are not working effectively to support circulation and fluid movement in the legs. The fourth sign is experiencing leg cramps, particularly at night. These cramps often occur in the calves and can wake you from sleep. While occasional cramps can happen for many reasons, frequent episodes may suggest that your muscles are not receiving enough support to function properly. This can be linked to reduced strength or coordination in the muscle fibers. The fifth sign is a general sense that your legs feel weaker, slower, or more tired than they did a few years ago. You might notice that climbing stairs feels more demanding, or that walking longer distances requires more effort. Activities that once felt easy may now require more focus and energy. This gradual change is often the clearest indication that your leg strength is declining over time. Individually, each of these signs may seem minor. However, when they begin to appear together, they form a pattern that should not be overlooked. Recognizing these early warnings allows you to take simple steps to support your leg strength before the changes become more limiting. To understand why the legs begin to feel weaker over time, it's important to look at what is happening beneath the surface. One of the main causes is a natural process known as sarcopenia, which refers to the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength as we age. This process often begins as early as the fourth decade of life and becomes more noticeable after the age of 60. Over the years, muscle fibers shrink, and the body becomes less efficient at maintaining strength. However, it is important to recognize that this change is not caused by age alone. A major factor behind weakening legs is the way muscles are used, or more accurately, not used. Muscles need regular activation to stay strong and responsive. When they are not engaged properly, they begin to lose function. This can happen even in people who believe they are staying active. For example, many individuals walk every day, but their movement patterns may not fully engage the key muscle groups in the legs. Sitting for long periods also plays a significant role. When you sit, especially for extended hours, large muscles in the thighs and hips remain inactive. Over time, this lack of activation weakens the connection between the brain and the muscles, making movements feel slower and less controlled. Another important factor is how the body adapts to reduced demand. When certain muscles are not used regularly, the body begins to rely on other areas to compensate. This can create imbalances and reduce overall efficiency in movement. As a result, even simple actions like standing up or maintaining balance can require more effort than before. The key point is that muscle loss is not entirely unavoidable. While aging plays a role, the level of strength you maintain depends greatly on how consistently your muscles are activated. When the body is given the right signals through proper movement, it can respond by maintaining or even improving strength. This means that weakening legs are not simply a fixed outcome of getting older, but often a reflection of how the muscles are being used over time. One of the most common reasons leg strength declines is not a lack of movement, but the wrong times of movement combined with too much time spent sitting. Many people believe that as long as they stay somewhat active during the day, their legs are getting enough use. However, everyday habits often tell a different story. A typical day might include long periods of sitting during meals, while watching television, reading, or using a phone. Even short breaks of walking in between may not be enough to fully engage the muscles that are responsible for strength and stability. When the body remains in a seated position for extended periods, the large muscles in the thighs and hips stay inactive. Over time, they begin to switch off, becoming less responsive when you actually need them. Another common mistake is relying on momentum instead of muscle control. For example, when standing up from a chair, many people push off quickly using their hands or shift their weight forward to make the movement easier. While this may feel efficient, it reduces the workload on the legs. The muscles are not being challenged, so they gradually lose their ability to generate strength on their own. Walking can also be misleading. Although it is beneficial for overall health, it does not always activate all the necessary muscle groups in the legs. If steps are short, slow, or lack proper engagement, the movement becomes more of a habit than a strengthening activity. The body simply goes through the motion without improving function. The realization here is important. It's not just about moving more, but about how times you move. Many daily actions unintentionally reduce the effort required from your legs, allowing them to become weaker over time. Once you become aware of this pattern, it changes the way you see simple movements. Activities like standing, sitting, or even shifting your weight are no longer automatic. They become opportunities to rebuild strength and control. The encouraging part is that improving leg strength does not require complicated routines or intense physical effort. In fact, some of the most effective ways to support your legs are also the simplest. The key is not doing more, but doing the right times movements that properly activate the muscles that have been underused. Instead of long workouts or specialized equipment, a few focused exercises can make a meaningful difference. These movements are designed to reconnect your muscles with your nervous system, helping your legs respond more quickly and work more efficiently. When done consistently, they can help your legs feel lighter, more stable, and more reliable in everyday situations. What makes these exercises especially practical is that they can be done while sitting. This removes the pressure of needing balance or extra strength to begin. You don't need a gym, weights, or any special setup. A simple chair and a few minutes of attention are enough to get started. This makes it easier to stay consistent, which is the most important factor for real improvement. Another important benefit is that these movements are gentle yet effective. They focus on activation, control, and coordination rather than force. This means they are suitable for a wide range of ability levels and can be adjusted based on how your body feels. By focusing on these simple actions, you are giving your legs the signals they need to function properly again. Over time, small efforts like these can lead to noticeable changes in how you stand, walk, and move throughout your day. The first exercise may seem very simple at first, but it targets one of the most important foundations of leg strength: proper muscle activation. This movement focuses on pressing your heels into the ground while sitting, which helps engage the large muscle groups in your thighs and hips. These are the same muscles your body depends on when you stand up, walk, or maintain balance. When these muscles are not regularly activated, they gradually become less responsive, which is often why the legs start to feel heavy or slow. To perform this exercise correctly, sit on a stable chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Keep your back upright and avoid leaning backward. From this position, gently press both heels down into the ground, as if you are trying to push the floor away from you. You should begin to feel tension building in your thighs and the back of your legs. Hold this pressure for about 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release. This counts as one repetition. Aim to repeat this movement 8 to 10 times, moving slowly and with full control. There are a few common mistakes to watch out for. One of the most frequent is pressing too lightly, which prevents the muscles from fully engaging. Another mistake is rushing through the movement without holding the position long enough. Some people also tend to shift the pressure toward their toes instead of their heels, which changes the focus of the exercise and reduces its effectiveness. It is also important not to hold your breath. Breathing naturally helps your body stay relaxed and allows the muscles to work more efficiently. When done correctly and consistently, this exercise can produce noticeable results within a short period of time. Many people begin to feel that their legs respond more quickly and feel less heavy during everyday activities. Standing up may start to feel smoother, and there may be a greater sense of stability. The goal is not just to build strength, but to restore the connection between your brain and your muscles, allowing your legs to function the way they are meant to. The second exercise focuses on a different but equally important aspect of leg function: control and balance. While strength allows your legs to support your body, control determines how smoothly and safely you move. This exercise, which involves lifting your toes while keeping your heels on the ground, targets the muscles at the front of your lower legs. These muscles play a key role in lifting your feet, stabilizing your steps, and helping you move with precision. To begin, sit upright in a chair with both feet flat on the floor. Keep your posture steady and avoid leaning back. From this position, slowly lift your toes upward while keeping your heels firmly grounded. You should feel the muscles along the front of your lower legs begin to engage. Pause briefly at the top, then lower your toes back down slowly and with control. Each repetition should take several seconds, especially during the lowering phase. This slow movement is where the real benefit comes from. Aim to repeat this exercise around 10 to 12 times, focusing on smooth and steady motion. The concept of control is essential here. Many people can perform a movement quickly, but that does not mean the muscles are working effectively. True control means your muscles can guide movement at a steady pace without relying on momentum. When you lower your toes slowly, your muscles are actively managing the movement rather than simply letting gravity take over. This helps retrain coordination between your brain and your muscles, improving how your legs respond during real-life activities. A common mistake is moving too quickly, lifting and dropping the toes without attention. When this happens, the muscles do not fully engage and the nervous system does not relearn proper timing. Another mistake is allowing the heels to lift off the floor, which shifts the focus away from the intended muscle group. It is also important to stay balanced and avoid shifting your weight, as stability is part of the training. With regular practice, this exercise can help improve how stable your steps feel. Movements may become smoother, and there may be less hesitation when you begin to walk. Over time, better control can reduce the feeling of uncertainty in your legs and support more confident movement throughout the day. The third exercise brings everything together and focuses on what truly matters in daily life: the ability to stand up with control and confidence. This movement, often called sit to stand with a pause, is considered the most important because it directly reflects how your legs function in real-world situations. Unlike isolated movements, this exercise trains strength, coordination, and balance at the same time. Standing up from a chair is something most people do many times a day without thinking. However, as leg strength and control begin to decline, this simple action can become more challenging. You may notice yourself leaning forward more, using your hands for support, or hesitating before pushing upward. These small adjustments are signs that your legs are no longer generating strength as efficiently as they once did. Over time, this can affect your ability to move independently and confidently. To perform this exercise, start by sitting on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Position yourself slightly toward the edge of the chair, keeping your chest upright. Slowly begin to stand up, but instead of rising all at once, pause halfway through the movement. Hold this position for about 2 to 3 seconds. During this pause, your leg muscles are actively supporting your body weight, which is where meaningful strength is built. After the pause, continue standing up fully, then slowly lower yourself back down with control. Repeat this movement 6 to 8 times, focusing on steady and deliberate motion. The pause is what makes this exercise especially effective. It forces your muscles to engage without relying on momentum, helping rebuild the strength needed for everyday tasks. A common mistake is moving too quickly, standing up in one smooth motion, and sitting down without control. When this happens, the body uses speed rather than muscle engagement, reducing the benefit of the exercise. It is also important to keep your knees aligned with your feet and avoid letting them collapse inward, as this helps maintain proper balance and joint stability. This movement is closely connected to maintaining independence as you age. The ability to stand up easily affects nearly every aspect of daily life, from getting out of bed to moving around your home. When your legs are strong and responsive, these actions feel natural and effortless. When they are not, even simple tasks can require extra effort and attention. With consistent practice, many people begin to notice that standing up feels smoother and more controlled. There is less hesitation, and movements become more reliable. This exercise is not just about building strength, it is about restoring confidence in how your body supports you in everyday life. There is one simple technique that many people overlook, yet it can make an immediate difference in how your legs feel when you stand up. It takes only about 60 seconds, but it helps reset your muscles after sitting for a while. Even if you practice the exercises regularly, your legs can still become less responsive during long periods of inactivity. This short routine helps bring them back to life before you move. After sitting for an extended time, your muscles do not completely switch off, but they become less active. This is why your first step can feel slow, heavy, or slightly unsteady. Instead of standing up right away, take a brief moment to prepare your legs. While still seated, place your feet flat on the ground and begin by gently pressing your heels downward for a few seconds. Then, lift your toes upward and lower them slowly with control. Repeat this combination for about 20 to 30 seconds. To finish, perform one slow and controlled sit-to-stand movement, just like the previous exercise. This sequence helps re-engage the muscles, improve coordination, and prepare your body for movement. It is not about effort or intensity, but about timing and awareness. What makes this method effective is its simplicity. It can be done anywhere before getting up from a chair, a couch, or even the edge of a bed. Many people notice that their legs feel more responsive and stable almost immediately after doing it. Instead of hesitation, there is a smoother transition into movement. This small habit can be easily added to your daily routine, and over time, it helps reinforce better muscle activation. It is a simple step, but one that can make everyday movements feel safer and more controlled. The most important idea to remember is this: the weakening of your legs does not happen suddenly, and it is not something you are powerless to change. It develops gradually, often through small habits and unnoticed patterns. But in the same way, strength can also be rebuilt step by step with the right approach. Once you become aware of what your body needs, you can begin to support it in a more effective way. You started by recognizing the early signs, those subtle changes that many people overlook. Then you understood the underlying causes, not just aging, but reduced muscle activation and daily habits that limit how your legs function. From there, you explored simple movements designed to reconnect your muscles, improve control, and rebuild real strength. Each exercise serves a purpose, and together they create a foundation for more stable and confident movement. What matters most is consistency. These are not complicated routines that require a large time commitment. They are small, focused actions that can be done in just a few minutes each day. When practiced regularly, they can lead to noticeable improvements in how your legs feel and respond. Standing up can become smoother, walking can feel more natural, and the sense of hesitation can begin to fade. It is also important to remember that progress does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful. Even slight improvements in stability, balance, or comfort can have a real impact on your daily life. These changes support your ability to move with confidence and maintain independence over time. The goal is not perfection, but steady improvement. Now is a good moment to take the first step. Choose one or two of the movements and begin with a pace that feels comfortable for you. Pay attention to how your legs respond, and give your body time to adapt. Small actions, repeated consistently, can lead to lasting results. Your legs are still capable of supporting you more than you may realize. With the right signals and regular attention, they can become stronger, more responsive, and more reliable again.